Mga kababayan, magandang umaga po. Ito na naman po si Dr. Toto Tirador. Pero bago ang lahat, ang ating pala pag-usapan ay patungkol sa impeachment pa rin. Kung ano ang nasasabi ng author ng tinatawag na Francisco Doctrine na si walang iba kundi si Attorney Francisco Doctrine. Pakinggan po natin siya. Pero bago ang lahat ay papakilala ko muna kung sino muna tayo. Ito. Baliktad. Ito muna. Ito po. Okay, magpakilala. Ako po si Toto Tirador. Pakinggan niyo muna po. Ako po si Dr. Toto Tirador. O tawagin niyo akong Berteni Catalunya Causing. Ako po ay nagtapos ng aking abogasiya bilang iskular ng Maynila sa College of Law ng Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Maynila noong March 2005. At kumuha ko ng bar exam noong September 2005 na isa sa pinakamahirap na eksaminasyon na nangyari sa bar exam history at ako'y nakapasa kagad. At siyam kaming magkaklase, 8 kami nakapasa. Isang record yan sa panahon na yon. At ako rin po ay gumraduate bilang isang consistent na full scholar sa Mindanao State University, Marawi City noong 1988 sa kursong Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering. Kaya ako po ay lisensyadong civil engineer din. Ako po ay nagkaroon ng karanasan bilang isang editor ng People's Journal Tonight sa loob ng 15 taon. At bago niyan, nagsimula po ako sa pagiging sports writer. Pagkatapos niyan, ako ay nagtuloy sa abogasiya. Ito po ang aking karanasan at diyan ko nakukuha ang aking katalinuhan sa pagtingin ng mga issue sa batas at bayan. Kaya po tayo ay umiikot-ikot sa mga issue ng katarungan, katotohanan, at bayan. Kaya samahan niyo po ako sa aking programa. Ay, tika pala. Nais ko lang magiging isang honest na tao. Ako po ay nadisbar noong 2023 sapagkat po ang rason na ginamit ng Supreme Court, mali daw yun yung aking ginawa na pag-post sa Facebook ng reklamo na plunder na aking ginawa. At yun naman daw ay bawal daw kapag hindi pa naisampa sa ombudsman. Pero naisampa ko rin pagkatapos ng huling araw ng Enero 2019. Okay? Tara na, pakinggan niyo po ako. Okay, so kasunod naman ay mayroon akong isang habang nag-antay tayo ng mga iba pang mga manonood, ay may isa pa akong i-upload, ipapakinggan, paparinig ko po sa inyo. Ito po. Ito po siya. So, hindi pwede siya. Ito po. Mga kababayan ko, mahal ko kayo lahat. Kaya bigyan ko kayo ng isang kaalaman. Memorize niyo po ito. At ito po ang magsasalba sa inyo sa kahit anong sitwasyon na kayo'y maiipit sa larangan ng batas. Kung minsan kayo'y mahuli ng pulis, ito magagamit ninyo. Kung minsan kayo matatanggal sa trabaho, ito po magagamit ninyo. Kung minsan kayo ay maaaring mapaparusahan ng kung sino mang mga ahensya ng pamahalaan, ito'y magagamit nyo. Ano po ito? Ito po yung tinatawag na sagradong karapatang pantao na nakaukit sa pinakaunang batas ng ating konstitusyon sa Bill of Rights, kalipunan ng mga karapatang pantao na nagsasabi, no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall any person be denied the equal protection of the law. Kung sa Tagalog pa, walang sinumang tao ang maaring matanggalan ng buhay, mapagkaitan ng kalayaan, at makumpiska ang kayamanan kung hindi dumaan sa proseso ng batas. At walang sinuman ang mapagkaitan ng patas na pagtingin ng batas. Yan po ang ating laging tandaan. Yan din po ang magpapaliwanag kung bakit sinasabi ng Supreme Court na dapat ibasura ang impeachment complaint laban kay Sara Duterte sapagkat hindi binigyan ng House of Representatives ng pagkakataon na makapagpaliwanag si Sara Duterte. Okay? Salamat po. Okay, so diretso po tayo sa ating pakay at nais ko po munang ibigay sa inyo walang iba po kundi si Attorney Ernesto Francisco. Si Attorney Ernesto Francisco po, siya noong 2003, siya po yung abogado na nagsampa ng disbarment case laban kay Chief Justice Hilario P. Davide Jr. At ito yung kwento ng buhay niya, ikikwento siya, tatanungin siya ngayon ng mga veteranang mga broadcasters at ito, maganda pa kanilang mga palitan ng salita. At magandang umaga po kay Alan D. At maganda ring umaga kay Roberto Mabasa, kamag-anak ni Percy Lapid Mabasa. At sabi niya, good morning Toto, saludo ako sa iyo, paki-shoutout from LA. Hindi ko makakalimutan yung client ko na si si Percy Lapid Mabasa. Ang totoong pangalan niya po ay Percival Carag Mabasa. At siya po, nang nabubuhay pa, lahat po ng kanyang libel case ay pinanalo ko bago man lang siya namatay. So, pakinggan muna natin si Attorney Ernesto Francisco sa kanyang mga sagot. Alamin niyo kung bakit sinasabi niya yung si Tambaluslos, si Martin Romualdez ay in bad faith. Talagang sadya nila na binababoy ang Ernesto Doctrine na kanyang naipanalo sa panahon nang siya ay nagkipaglaban. Ito na po siya. Pakinggan po natin. Ito si Attorney Ernesto Francisco. Welcome, Attorney Francisco.
Operative fact does not apply in this case. Attorney, help us understand why the doctrine of operative fact does not apply in this case, which essentially states that even while the law or the Supreme Court declares it as null and void, the past actions done in good faith may still be considered valid.
Precisely. It was not done in good faith. There was a deliberate act on the part of the House to sit on valid impeachment complaints filed by citizens and endorsed by members of the House.
Kung sa Tagalog pa, talagang in bad faith yung House of Representatives kasi inupuan nila ang mga naunang mga tatlong reklamo na sinampa ng mga mamamayan na inendorso ng mga kasapi ng House of Representatives. Patuloy tayo makinig kay Attorney Ernesto Francisco.
And worse, those who endorsed these 3 impeachment complaints filed by citizens later signed the 4th impeachment complaint. That's another technicality.
Yon. Kasunod nun, yung tatlong reklamo na inendorso ng mga congressmen ay pumirma pa doon sa 215. That's a technicality. O sabi ko na, sunod na natin pag ibablog ko kasunod yan.
You see, we would not have any problem if the House just followed strictly what is provided in the Constitution and in the Francisco ruling.
Yan, si Ernesto Francisco po yan. Siya po yung ruling na yon. Kanyang kaso yan.
Had they been in good faith, then that Francisco ruling would have been followed, and maybe by this time, Senate is already conducting a trial.
Yan ang sinasabi ni Attorney Francisco. Kung hindi lang sila masama ang balak, ay isang impeachment complaint lang malamang isasampa nila at wala na, hindi na magkalawalo pa. At sa ngayon po ay nanonood na tayo ng impeachment trial.
So hard, right,
Okay.
attorney? Like when you're arguing things like good faith or bad faith, faith is something intangible, and if this is procedural indeed, then how do we, argue it? Because it's something that like it's so affected by personal biases, etc.
It can be good faith or bad faith can be seen in the sequence of events. All we have to do is examine the facts, and we can see here a deliberate avoidance of the constitutional one-year bar rule. Don't
Yan.
violate the Constitution. That's
Yan ang correct na statement, deliberate avoidance of the constitutional rule.
basic. And there was a deliberate avoidance of the Francisco ruling.
Oh, in-avoid
To
yan,
make it
Francisco.
simple, had they followed the Francisco ruling, all they had to do is that when the first impeachment complaint was filed on December 2, 2024, they should have included that in the order of business right away. The Secretary General has no discretion to sit on it. But on the contrary, based on the constitutional provision, the Secretary General is mandated to immediately refer it to the Speaker and to place it in the order of business.
But it did comply. There were 10 calendar days. Session days, sorry, 10 session days.
That's
Even if there was bad faith, let's just say it complied with what the rules say.
no, says, because there were 19 days, there were 19 opportunities for the House to act on it.
Yun.
But what happened was that on the last day, on the 10th session day, February 5, 2025, the Secretary General included all four in the order of business, additional reference of business. And the Secretary General read the fourth impeachment complaint
So are
first.
you saying 19 session days?
Not 19 session days, 19 days that
Oh,
Congress House
Oo
was
nga
there.
po,
And it
oo
would have
nga
been-
po, pero they are counting session days.
No,
And
Hindi
the rules say
naintindihan eh.
session days
Hindi
too,
mo
right?
naintindihan, Sister Ron eh.
yes, order of business, but if you will notice, there is such thing as additional reference of business. In fact, these impeachment complaints were included in the additional reference of business, which were taken up outside of those 10 session days, but within 90 days from December 3 up to February 5, 2025.
For
What I'm
example,
saying lang is this, that they could have acted swiftly on the first impeachment complaint.
So are you
They did not.
Are you saying that the Supreme Court decision, because other legal luminaries are saying it sets aside the Francisco precedent, it's no longer the existing rule to follow, but this new decision by the Supreme Court, which sets new conditions?
There's no inconsistency, says, because the Francisco ruling is still very valid if given that same set of facts. Now, this is another set of facts that the Supreme Court has to interpret because it has to. It's the arbiter. It has to decide. Take note. Before the Francisco ruling, there is no provision that an impeachment complaint is deemed initiated upon referral to the Committee on Justice. I
Yes,
placed that in my petition.
right. It made
I
this
questioned the
clear.
rules. I questioned the rules. And then the Supreme Court decided, interpreted the Constitution and says it's from the filing and referral to the Committee on Justice. Nobody questioned that. Nobody said the proponents of the impeachment complaints then, so many members of Congress did not say that, hey, don't apply that to us retroactively. They did not question because they know they are lawyers. Many of them are lawyers and they know that what the Supreme Court did was right. And do you know what they did? They revised the House rules on impeachment and adopted the Francisco ruling. That's why in the House rules on impeachment, at the footnote mentioned the Francisco ruling. So what's the problem now? The Supreme
Attorney?
Court is just interpreting a new set of facts.
Okay. Attorney Francisco, to your point, do you think the Supreme Court also considered the fact that House Secretary General Velasco also gave an interview, a TV interview at that, where he said, where he was asked, why did you not refer this sooner? And he said, because some House members asked me to hold on because may hinahabol pa silang isa pang complaint. So things like that factored into the Supreme Court decision, you think?
Yes, you can see that in the footnotes, but that shows bad faith, and that shows that you cannot invoke good faith. And the Secretary General of the House is not even mentioned in the Constitution. He has no discretion. Even the Speaker of the House has no discretion to sit on an impeachment complaint or not to act on it. It's the House. It's the action of the plenary.
What could have been the proper process? Should they have referred all to the Justice Committee and they could put them all together into one complaint, combine all these 4 complaints? Could that?
In the Francisco ruling, there's a portion there that says that when the impeachment complaints are in the Committee on Justice, they can be consolidated.
Yes.
That's in the Francisco ruling. Although I personally disagree with that, no? Because this is first to file and referred to the Committee on Justice.
Kaso attorney, meron ding mga sham complaints di ba? Na you can be the first to file, and then initiation starts and you're stuck with a complaint that cannot prosper.
Hindi pwede
Yes.
yan. Sinasabi
But
mo,
look at it this way.
pakinggan mo,
The Constitution provides that a citizen may file an impeachment complaint based on grounds enumerated in the Constitution and endorsed by a member of the House of Representatives. The presumption there is that a member of the House of Representatives or members, many members, will not endorse a sham complaint. There's a presumption of regularity there.
tama.
Well, Attorney, what happens
Walang
now? Because
congressman
the
na
House of Representatives
mag-endorse ng
has already
sham
filed a motion
complaint.
for reconsideration. How likely is it for you that a unanimous ruling could be reversed? And the Senate will also be tackling this in 2 days. Can they proceed? Because there's no TRO naman from the Supreme Court.
Well, it is the right of the House of Representatives to file a motion for reconsideration. That's part of due process, no? Now, as to the Senate, I do not want to preempt what the Senate will do on Wednesday, but this is all in accordance with procedure that the House at the first instance should have followed.
Correct.
If this is so, and if the motion for reconsideration is not granted, then the recourse is just to file another complaint, as the Supreme Court had indicated, next year in February. Are the dates correct? Because there's also also back and forth about the dates.
Not later than February 6, 2025, 2026. That's in the Duterte decision, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
Okay at least.
Makakasama ko muna natin
sinabi.
ang isa
Wala na
pong
yan, wala na yan.
constitutional law book author at isa rin pong law professor, si Attorney Jennifer Arlene Reyes. Kaugnay pa rin po ito, mga kabombo, doon sa naging desisyon ng Korte Suprema doon sa impeachment complaint laban kay Vice President Sara
Pakinggan
Duterte.
naman
Magandang araw
natin
po sa
ito
inyo,
si
Attorney.
Arlene Reyes.
At welcome sa Bombo Radio Philippines. Maraming salamat. Thank you so much for joining us sa Bombo Radio Philippines. Si Bombo Genesis po ito, kasama natin si Bombo Ever. And update ho kami, isang linggo na ho, simula noong naglabas ng desisyon ng Korte Suprema ukol sa impeachment complaint laban kay Vice President Sara Duterte. Sa ngayon, ano na po yung ine-expect ho ninyo, lalo ho at sa part ng academe, kung saan po kayo nagtuturo, Attorney?
Well, personally, I do not agree with the said decision. Ngunit dahil ang kataas-taasang hukuman ay nagsalita na at nagdesisyon, of course, kailangang respetuhin natin ang desisyon ng Korte Suprema. Pero para sa kalinawan din ng pagkakaintindi ng mga kababayan natin, hindi naman sinasabi ng Korte Suprema na acquitted si Vice President Sara Duterte or hindi na siya maaaring haina ng impeachment complaint. Actually, kung babasahin po ninyo ang full text ng desisyon ng Korte Suprema, nakalagay mismo sa dulo na sinasabi nito na maaaring sampahan ulit or maghain ulit ng impeachment complaint ang mababang kapulungan against VP Sara Duterte sa isang taon or sa susunod na taon rather, specifically on February 6, 2026 onwards. Ayan.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay, yun
Madam-
lang, hanggang dyan lang. Kasi ang intention ko, nawala tayo, anyway, babalik tayo, patapos na rin tayo. Nagkataon naman tapos na rin tayo. Magandang umaga lang po sa lahat. Ben Recamador, si Roberto Mabasa, hindi mo pala kamag-anak si Copper C. Lapid. So, anong mabasa ka? Doon ka ba taga Tugigaraw o taga Aklan? Kasi dalawang, alam kong iba pang mabasa nandun sa Tugigaraw at saka iba sa Aklan. Hindi na totoo. Mali ba sinabi ng isi na mas naunang binasura ang first, third kesa ang sinabi po ng Supreme Court po, Ben Reclamador, hindi mo pwedeng unahin yung port complaint asikasuhin kasi may nauna pang tatlo. Kaya, diniklara ng Supreme Court, bad faith, masamang balak. Pangalawa, at dapat hindi mo pwede unahin ang port complaint, walang discretion, walang kapangyarihan pumili ang House of Representatives kung alin ang unahin nila. Dahil ang sugo sa kanila ng Constitution ay kagad-agad tumingin at wala silang asikasin, kada reklamo bigyan mo ng 10 araw na pag-asikaso pagkatapos 3 araw. Ang ginawa nila, hindi nila ginawa. Inuna nila yung pang-apat. So mali po yun. Iyan po ang Ben Reclamador ang nangyari. Kaya diniklara ng Supreme Court na bastos, bad faith, at lahat, higit sa lahat ay binawalan na, null and void pa. Tsaka sunod, higit sa lahat ay binawalan na ng 1-year ban kasi yung hindi nila pag-asikaso sa naunang 3 reklamo ay iyon na po nagsignal na dinismiss na nila. Binasura na nila ang 3 reklamo. At in-apply ngayon ng Supreme Court yung batas na kung basura ng isang reklamo, tatakbo na ngayon ang tinatawag na prescription period. Okay? Magandang umaga po sa lahat.